Now, there's nothing wrong with what's happening here, okay? We simply captured 2 villagers from a nearby desert, stuck them in a 1x1 hole, and are force-feeding them potatoes so that they breed for us. Hello and welcome back to my Minecraft server. Now lately I've been noticing that I have a lot of unfinished projects on this world. Over there I have a village that I'm supposed to be populating. Over here there's this giant prismarine bridge to the prismarine farm that is still not done. And in general there's a lot of things that I need to be cleaning up around here, so in this video I'm going to do just that. I'm going to be jumping around and I'm going to be productive. First off, my house. Now, you may be noticing something that's a little bit off about my house. And if I go up to the front door, it becomes very apparent. Right here, this stair should be upside down. There we go. Okay, I see that the house is filled with wool. I'm not really sure why. I assume it's some kind of prank. But the only thing I can do is dig to find out. Okay, so I finished digging, and, I kind of expected that there was going to be something, like, in the middle after breaking all the wool, like a sign or something. But no, it was just a bunch of wool in my house. The only thing different is that now there's these lanterns hanging up. I'm like 99% sure that it was Catlaw that did that. I think she was mad because in the last video, I talked about how she made a new boat, and I acted like that was her response to my prank. So she figured she had to actually make a response to the prank, and it was just to fill my house with wool. So, good prank. I appreciate the whole Catlaw. You see that target over there? That'll be in a video coming soon. Now, before I finally get to building the bridge, allow me to show you the most cursed shit I've ever seen in this game. Now, we thought it would be funny to take a picture of Catlaw and import it into the game. But in the process, something went terribly wrong and she ended up super stretched out and discolored. Like there's blue on her forehead up there. And since then, now that there's like SpongeBob blowing Patrick somehow made its way into the picture. This item frame is just gone. There's no map there. This one has a fucking pork chop in it. It just fell apart, and it just proves to me that everybody on the server is a fucking savage animal idiot. Alright, now it is finally time to complete the bridge. Now, as you can see, this thing is pretty complex. There are a lot of different combinations of blocks and stairs and slabs and flower pots being used for every set of 8, which I've been calling a module. So in order to make one of these modules, it took about 10 or 15 minutes of work, depending on how focused I was. And so to get this thing to go about 400 blocks that way has been a awful process. And I'm not saying that it's boring, because if it were boring, I would just be able to put some music on, or a podcast, and just turn off my mind. But with this bridge, I can't do that because it's so complicated. I have to focus on every single block I place. But the good news is that when I turn this bridge to get it to the prismarine farm, I can change the design. And in fact, I have to, because this bridge is odd-numbered, while the edge of the prismarine farm is even-numbered. So that gives me a pretty good opportunity to make it a little bit more simple so I don't want to kill myself the whole time. For my own sanity, I'm actually starting the process at the farm. And I've already made a prototype here. I think it's looking pretty nice. I mean, compared to the bridge over there, yeah, this kind of looks like a dirt house. But I think it still looks good, and it looks like it's going to be a lot easier to make. Over here, it kind of loops around to get to the exit that I've made already right here, and the entrance down to the area where you collect XP and prismarine. And yeah, I think I'm ready to extend it up to the glass wall. The staircase has officially reached the glass wall, and in honor of that, I can break the scaffolding. Once again, I'm going to make a choice that'll make my life much easier. Instead of having the staircase go up now to 11 blocks above the water, like the bridge over there is, I'm just going to have it go along the water, like at sea level, and then have the staircase over there in order to avoid having to make more of these goofy looking posts.
2 hours later.
And there we have it. The bridge is finally complete. Now, it might be a little bit jarring going from the insane level of detail up there to basically a wooden plank going to the farm. But you know what? I kind of like it. And if anything, we can have the bridge continue all the way to that island over there and build more structures on the side. The Prismarine farm could just be a small detour, and it would make sense for it to be this kind of plane going over there. But either way, we've pretty much finished it. There are still some things, like there's supposed to be a potted plant here, and this part does need to be lit up. I'll figure that out another time. But yeah, success. Another thing I've been putting off is making an actual entrance to the Prismarine collection area. Right now you have to just fall down. But I do have an exit, which you've probably seen before. It's a cool slanted water chute. So the idea was to have the same thing on the other side, but with slime blocks, so you could just walk straight down. The problem was we didn't have any slime balls, but now we do. And so now it's time to finally take advantage of the slime farm. Here we go. I think that should be enough. And while I'm here, I wanted to show you guys something. You may remember the iron farm, which is shipping stacks and stacks of iron through these iron pipes into this collection area over here. But the problem was the chests were getting too full and it was starting to back up the pipes. So now, instead of collecting the iron, we are just sending it into a pit of lava. So I hope these 8 iron golems per minute never find out what's happening to them, because at this point it's just murder for no good reason. This Prismarine farm is really taking shape. We finally have an entrance here, made of slime blocks. Something I forgot is that you do take damage if you land on the edge of a slime block. So it's a little clunky, but it works. In here everything's all stoned up. Looks very nice. There is something I have to announce. Recently, our Wither, famously named 8=D, has been put down. Now there is a good reason for this. The only way he was trapped in there was because we had mob griefing off, and he was unable to break through the walls. But now we need mob griefing on because we're breeding villagers to put in the village. And you know, it doesn't really make any sense that those two things are encapsulated by the same command. But we did what had to be done, and now 8=D is gone but never forgotten. Speaking of the village, I wanted to show you guys the breeding system we have. Now there's nothing wrong with what's happening here, okay? We simply captured 2 villagers from a nearby desert, stuck them in a 1x1 hole, and are force-feeding them potatoes so that they breed for us. And then, completely legally and humanely, we take their child, put them in a boat, and sail to our village to make them work for us. All I have to do is break this boat, push him into this water stream, and he should end up in the village. If he can fucking get in there. Enjoy your new life, son. And I gotta say, this place is turning out to be a bustling metropolis. I mean, we got all kinds of workers here. We're gonna line up a lot of beds so that they all have a place to sleep. Here's where the peasants work, fishermen and farmers. And over here we have the completed library. And so now we have librarians walking around too. And yeah, the village is coming along very nicely, as is everything else on this server. I feel like this world is maybe the most developed world I've ever played on, which is saying a lot, so I'm really proud of that. Now there's something I want to mention. A few days ago I was trying to record a video and I just couldn't do it. The lag on my old computer was so bad, and you know, I said in the last video that I'd be saving up for a new one, but I just said, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna buy one now. I'm gonna use the money I have and get something that'll help me record better. And so you may have noticed that I'm not lagging very much. I have my render distance on like 12 chunks. You can see the village from here. I used to have it on like 4 chunks, which was ridiculous. You may also notice that the video quality is kind of rough. And I didn't even notice this until I was about halfway through making it. I was kind of rushing because I wanted to make sure that I got a video out within a week of my last one. So I'm gonna mess around with that. Hopefully it didn't ruin the experience, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching.